Good evening everyone, and welcome to JD Solar and EV. I'm going to be discussing a few interesting things that have been going on around, in particular South East Queensland, and some things that we can look forward to. During the week I decided to take the Kona out to Warwick, where they just installed a new 50 kilowatt DC fast charger. One of my friends, Chris, who's a BMW i3 owner, came along for the ride, and we met Rado and Hannah out there. They were the other EV owners, as well as the Tesla. They've got a Tesla Model S, and there was another Tesla Model S out there from the University of Queensland, who are the people that have put this charger in place, along with the Warwick Local Council. In the grand scheme of things, it's a really good place to put a charger for hooking up with the rest of the network, especially down the New England Highway. So I'll have a bit of a look at that on PlugShare in a minute. So let's just have a look at some video of what happened when I went out to Warwick. Today they're opening the Warwick 50 kilowatt charger, and we're going out there for the grand opening. It's important to support some of these rural communities, especially when you think about the fact that they're in a bit of a drought at the moment. So good to get out. We got to go over through Cunningham's Gap, which is quite a steep incline, but hopefully we can recover some regen on the way back. But just waiting for my mate Chris, and we're going to head off. Let's have a look at the stats just before we leave. We're at 372. We have 2 hours and 25-minute drive, nearly 200 kilometers, and the battery is at 69%, so we should be able to get a little bit of a charge out there. And for 400 kilometers we're probably going to need to charge just for a little while, maybe 20 minutes or something like that, but that shouldn't be any problem. Alright, so we had a pretty spirited trip out there, probably pushing the speed limit most of the way, and fuel consumption was reasonably high. But once we got up there, here you can see the 50 kilowatt DC fast charger on the right, and a dual plug 32 amp charger on the other side.
The drivers of electric cars.
Well, there's a chance they might not even be driving. They might be driving, can't let them drive.
I think I used to work.
After about an hour of being there, the politicians and crowd went their separate ways, and we plugged in. Because the Tesla had been charging before, we throttled on the speed a little bit, around about 40 kilowatts rather than the 45-46 that we'd normally get on a 50 kilowatt DC fast charger. Ended up putting in just under 41 kilowatts over an hour while we chatted, and you can see the range here went up to around 390, and you can see the average kilowatts there. That's really high for the Kona, 14.6. So Chris and I decided to head back to Brisbane, but before we actually left Warwick, we went and checked out the solar farm that they're building out there. But as you can see, it's just so vast. It's just so wide and long, and there's just solar panels after solar panels. It's really quite incredible. Absolutely staggering, the size of that thing, and they're still in the process of building it. There was pallets and pallets of solar panels still in the box, and seemed like quite a lot of people there working on it. I believe after just having a little read about it, they're employing about 100 people to work on it. 36. This is not what I'd hope for. I'd hope for a faster run. I don't know, does it actually make a difference? Oh yeah. So the question is, going down fast, does that actually give you the same amount of regen as going down slow? Just doing it slowly. I feel like I probably could have been higher than 3 by now.
You're going to make it reset, aren't you?
No, I'm feathering it. It's going to be alright. I reset it.
You lost it.
But the guy behind me banged his steering wheel.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What a...
He's literally like a metre from one.
So what are you up to now? About 7 total?
4 now. Oh, 3.6.
Yeah, but including all the others.
I think there was there a 1 kilometre bit and 3 kilometre bit maybe?
I believe there was.
So it could be 8. I don't know, a good cameraman would know this.
Mate, you're not driving very smoothly.
It's got a gimbal, mate. You don't have to be smooth video. 6.83, 6.85. If I try not to accelerate up the crests. So, it's going to drop out here.
Shouldn't do. Still going downhill.
I know, but I'm backing off as we're going up the hill to keep it ticking up. This might end it here.
There you go, you lost it.
Alright, well hopefully you found some benefit out of that. Yes, I love my regen, and probably got about, what, something like 14 kilometers of regen, so the stats on the way home were quite a lot better than on the way there, recovering quite a lot of energy in that little downhill strip. But before I finish the video, I just want to go through a couple of little things that I've noticed have happened lately, and one of those is on PlugShare. You can actually use trip planner now, and as you can see here, I've got South East Queensland, Northern New South Wales selected. Over on the side we have the Kona selected. You can see down here is where we went out to Warwick, but if you scroll down now, there's a trip planner, and that brings out a new tab, and you can enter in a destination that you're interested in going to, and it will pop up with a route and filter some of the charges that are around. So let's just try Goondiwindi for an example, because that's out past Warwick, and you can see that it uses the range that is set by you, and as you can see here, the 40 kilometre filter along the route. You can't see some of the other charges that were displaying before now, so I think that's pretty good. For those of you that are new to the EV scene, the Nissan Leaf came out last month, and we're seeing the owners of, or the people who've put reservations in for the the Tesla Model 3. They're starting to see their deliveries come this week, so nice to see a bit more adoption of EVs in Australia, that's for sure. Unfortunately though, the Kia e-Niro, which is essentially a Hyundai Kona that's got a bit more interior room, it's only a tiny bit, it's got the same size battery, it's essentially the same car, they use all the same components, just a little bit of body styling difference. They've actually announced that that's not going to be coming to Australia as anticipated in January 2020, because there's not enough people buying EVs, unfortunately, and they have to supply the countries that are buying them. So makes business sense, I guess, but it's a bit disappointing. Okay, so one last thing before we wrap it up, and that's that in the Glasshouse Mountains, they're installing one of the first 350 kilowatt dual plug type CCS2 and ChargeMo chargers. They're currently under construction near the McDonald's, just off the highway off Johnson Road. So I'll be doing an update on that as they do a bit more work. But they're all Chargefoxes. That's Go EV brand, or the website's Go EV, but the brand's EV. And Chargefox are actually putting in a few Schneider chargers where you have to use your own cable to charge at them. I believe it's AC charging down at Maruka and Rochdale. So a little bit of infrastructure going in, which is always helpful. But that's it for this wrap of what's happening around the place. And once again, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one.